Today, and for the foreseeable future, we're going to be dealing with fractions. Now, I know that for many ages, in many places, when you hear the word fraction, you automatically say,
That's really hard. I can't do it.
but what you need to understand is that fractions are very, 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 very simple. They have a set of rules. If you follow those rules, you're going to be right every time. If you skip some steps, however, or if you totally disregard the rules, that's where you're going to end up in trouble, and that's where you are going to think that fractions are difficult. But they're not. If you've ever seen or eaten a pizza, or if you've ever seen or eaten a pie, or if you've ever folded a piece of paper, you are good at fractions already. You just need to come into it with an open mind and be ready to follow the rules. What shape is this? If you said circle, you're very good at your shapes. I'm going to cut this circle in half. Right down the middle. Now, when I had it before, this was just one piece. One piece right here. So if we were to think of this as a pizza, in order to eat this pizza, you'd have to pick up the entire circle and start eating it. Then I cut it right down the middle. How many equal parts do I have now? I have two equal parts. Those two equal parts have a name, and I kind of spoiled it coming into it. But this is me cutting a circle in half. Now we can write this two different ways. We can write it in its unit form, which would be 1/2. Or we can write it in its fraction form, which would be 1/2. You were probably more familiar with this one. Let's jump back to where I had cut it into two equal parts. I have two total parts, and this one right here, we're going to call that our shaded region. The shaded region, this started out calling it a pizza, and then I used red. Kind of silly. That shaded region is only one of the two equal pieces. We have two equal pieces right here, and I shaded in one of them. You may or may not know it, but this right here, that top number is called the numerator. This bottom number right here is called the denominator. This is the number, the numerator, the number that's shaded in. This is the total. Try to figure out something. Rack your brain, see if you can think of a word that means total. That starts with a D. But our denominator means that there's two total slices. I cut this into two pieces. The numerator shows that I shaded one of them in. Again, we can write it in its unit form, which is 1/2. Or we can write it in its fraction form, which is 1/2, 1 out of 2. And before we move on, Need to make it very clear. I should have stopped as soon as I said it. Two equal pieces. When you are up to doing this on your own, you need to strive for equal pieces. If these pieces are not equal, then it is not a fraction. Let's go on to another shape. This is a square. I know that because all the same, there's 4 sides and they're all the same length. I'm going to make one cut right here and another cut right here. I'm going to redo that. You see, why I'm redoing that is because this side looks a little bit smaller than that. Let's try that one more time. I'm going to cut here and here. It's a little bit better. So now, how many pieces do I have? I have 1, 2, 3 total pieces. 3 total. And I'm going to shade in this one right here. How many did I shade in? 1. 1 shaded pieces, 3 total pieces. So in unit form, this would be 1/3. Kind of like 3, 1/3. In fraction form, it would be 1/3. Let's do another square. This one I'm going to cut right down the middle. So now we look at it. I have 1, 2 total pieces so far. But I am going to make another cut right here. They look as equal as I can get them without a ruler, so that's good. But now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. I have 4 total pieces. And I'm going to shade in that one right there. I shaded in 1 out of those 4 pieces. So my unit form would be 1/4. And my fraction form would be 1/4. Moving on, we can even do these crazier shapes by cutting 1 in half. 1 corner to corner, and another corner to corner. Now I have equal pieces, whereas if I wouldn't have bubbled out here, it would have been equal. Let's see if we can straighten that up a little bit. There. How many equal pieces do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 equal pieces. I am going to shade in that one right there. Now before we move on, I should say that it doesn't matter if I shaded in that one, or this one, or this one, or this one, or this one. The fact that I shaded one in is the point. I shaded in 1 out of the 6 pieces. So in unit form, I shaded in 1/6. In fraction form, I shaded in 1/6. If we go to this last one, I am going to cut right here. So I have 1, 2 pieces. Now I'm going to cut right here. Is this a fraction? Can I get any fractions out of this? If you answered no, you are correct. And let me tell you why. If we look at this piece right here, and we compare it to this piece right here, we will see that those are not equal. This one in blue is way bigger than this one in yellow. Therefore, they are not fractions because they are not equal pieces. I cannot find a unit form and I cannot find a fraction form out of these because they are not equal. Not equal. In order to have fractions, you need to have equal pieces. Let's just review this one more time. I had a circle. I had one piece. I cut it into 2 equal parts. 1, 2. Then I shaded in one of those parts. So I had 2 total pieces, and I shaded in one of them. So in unit form, I had 1/2. In fraction form, I had 1/2 written that way. Fractions are fun, and they are not as scary as maybe you have them built up to be. They're not even scary when we start multiplying. When we get to mixed numbers, they're not even that scary. When we get to simplifying them, they're not even that scary. Just follow the rules, and you will be fine.